Good morning, Pertam, and welcome back to a brand new episode here on Space Engineers. In the last episode, we set ourselves up a mining rig here at our starter base location so we could drill ourselves out an area for our starter base. Now, in between episodes, I've let the drill run its course, so we have all this room now to play with, and I've also put a floor in. This might be a temporary floor. We'll see how it goes once we start designing the starter base here. But what I have done is I've just left this little hole in the floor here with a couple of catwalk pieces on top, just so that when we do start building a rover, we can build it on here and have access to the bottom without having to lift it all the way up or put it on stilts. So with that, I think we should get started. Now, first things first, we're technically done with this drill now, so we could probably get rid of this one.
Inventory full.
What we are also going to need is I'm going to be using the build and repair mod. So what this will do is this will just take any resources that are made in the base here and transfer them over to any block that need building in this area. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace that drill with the build and repair system. But what we'll do is we'll put two of the build and repair systems here. Now, thankfully, a lot of these resources we will be able to just take from the drill. Ooh. There we go. So we have enough for one of them. But while it was drilling out, I did have this refinery running, so we do have quite a bit of resources here. But what I'm thinking is we will probably switch out that basic assembler for a regular assembler. But one thing we're going to need first is we're probably going to need some cobalt, because both the assembler and a few other things we're going to need to build on the starter base require us to have cobalt. I believe there was a few ore patches up here, so let's see if we can find some cobalt. That's silicon. It was somewhere near here. Where was it? That's iron. That's nickel. Come on, show me cobalt. Just need to make sure I don't run out of hydrogen while I'm searching this area for it. I could have sworn I saw some cobalt up on top of one of these bits nearby. Ooh, might be this bit here. Nope, more iron. I checked that. No. Yeah. Oh, okay. So in between the starter base, we've got 2 bits of iron. It's definitely helpful. Show me my Where's my cobalt? Is it this bit? No. More iron. Oh. The irony. Oh god, I'm already out of
Fuel.
No, 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 no! What was that I was saying about hydrogen? You know what? Now we've got a kind of base location set out. could probably look at getting this ship over to there. Because, yeah, having to go back and forth constantly doesn't sound good. Now, I don't know if this is actually gonna be able to fly, but we can try. Okay. So if we go turn these engines on. Should be everything we need. Come on. Well, that's not happening here. Hey, there we go. We were just parked. Now, I'm definitely moving. But yeah, I don't think we can take this to space anytime soon. I mean, there is some cobalt down there. Don't know. Well, what we can do, it's got enough range on it. As we do a flyby to go in for a landing, we can have a look and grab some cobalt on the way. Okay, there's cobalt on that hill. I feel like that's kind of the last resort of them. More iron. Ice. See, there we go. There's the cobalt. Alright. Let's drop ourselves down here. Ooh. Gently, gently. There we go. Actually, before we leave, I'm just gonna turn off the engines as well. Alright. So we are officially over here at the new base now. Now, like I said, we will probably, at least for our first kind of space mission, we'll probably look at fixing this up. But yeah, that's definitely going to be Future Bound's problem. What I can do as well is we can grab a load of these resources that are in here and drop them off here at this bit, so it's got as much chance as possible to drill up the base. And we can also look at putting some of these, hopefully some of these resources will help to build the build and repair stuff and the conveyors that we got connected to it. 6 components could not be deposited. I think I don't think we have enough space in the cargo container. That's fine. We can figure it out. We dump as much as we can into these. See, there we go. A bunch of these we can use for these. Ooh. We had all the components we needed. Sick. Also, the other great part is the build and repair stuff has storage space on it. So we should now be able to dump all the resources in there. There we go. Right. Now, back to where we were. Oh, let me grab some hydrogen first, because I keep forgetting. The other problem is that Earwig Ridge. I don't know how much we can trust that, but what we'll do is, once we've got our starter base set up and maybe a few weapons, we could build up like a little scout drone and go take a look. Now, that's the other thing. So, of course, I've added a few mods that allow us to kind of have a few, make the world feel a bit more lived in. But it'll also add a lot more chances for us to be getting into conflict. So, you'll have to let me know down below if that's something you'd like to see me kind of pursue a bit more. Like, if we see a ship, would you want me to be going after it straight away? Or are you happy with me kind of doing what we're doing now, where we maybe focus a bit more on exploration and building bases? Yeah, so we've got ourselves a full inventory of cobalt, so let's just chuck that in there. And we should be okay. Right. Let's grab ourselves an assembler. So we've got a few of the resources for it, but yeah, definitely need a lot more. Android. Ah, there we go. Let's try to pull two. Also, I don't know how I just did that. My finger is not... My hands are completely off the keyboard and mouse. Yet it's still welding away. Yeah, this is not me. The game's haunted. This confirms it. Oh, we already have enough cobalt for the metal grids. Nice. Come on. Give me the computers. There we go. So, boom. Assembler. What I might do as well is now get rid of this basic assembler. And if we replace it with another cargo container. Just so we've got as much as we possibly need. Did I add? Yeah, I've added two again. Yeah, look, we've already got like 75 cobalt, so yeah, should be okay, at least for now. Right, I think that is everything we need. Okay, so yeah, so let's grab some steel plates. And do we have... Yes, we do. Let's grab some interior plates as well. And now, a word from our editor. I'm Editor Bad, and we done goofed. Last week's episode never came out. The reason for that is we had a heat wave in the UK. My PC was just overheating and I was not able to finish the recording. I have re-recorded the episode and I'm now currently editing it on Thursday night. Well, it is now Friday morning. Basically, the same thing happened with my last recording, except I hadn't noticed. OBS has fallen to a slideshow. So the next 9 minutes of the episode, it was just a slideshow. I was kind of trying to edit around it because over the next 9 minutes, I'm basically explaining my cargo situation and what the design for the base is. Long story short, I've set up 3 large cargo containers, 4 small cargo containers, and I have decided to, on the right and left hand side of the door, set up the actual production side of the base. So then, in the back of the base, we can set up some rover docks. It means I can have larger rovers, and it makes it easier for driving in and out of the base. Effectively, that's all that's happened. I've just thought I'd jump in now, let you know what happened, and continue on from where we're going. A few of you might ask, why don't you just re-record that part? It's 1:45 in the morning on Friday, and I'm supposed to be leaving for a long weekend trip with my family in 11 hours. So, yeah, I don't have time to record it, and honestly, at this point, I'm going to need to pull an all-nighter to edit this video down so it's ready. Apologies for the cut in the episode, and if you are still watching, thank you very much for watching. Feel free to call me a donut in the comments. But with that, let's jump back into the video. I am going to leave these just as the straight ones for now. I mean, we might change that in the future to run it back here and connect it to the rovers. I feel like I don't have a idea in my head just yet for the rovers we need. We'll leave it like that, and then once we've designed our rovers, we can put in a conveyor system rather than what I'm doing, which would be setting up an entire conveyor system and then having to build a rover around the conveyor system so it still connects to it. Okay, what I'm thinking here is we can put in our assemblers. So if we do, we grab a T-junction actually, and we put one there and one there. Actually, I might put 3 in. Let's think about this. Where is it? Conveyor corner. Could maybe line them up with these. So I'll put a full conveyor in. Then we go 1, 2, 3. Put it there. And is this going to be enough space? Nah, because there'll be one here, so I'll have 1, 2, and there. I was going to put some speed controllers on it, but doesn't really feel like there's going to be enough room. And I mean, if I've got 4 of them, this is going to be a starter base. I don't need to worry too much about having the speed on it. Yeah, and then we can put kind of 3 refineries in, and that'll cover the same space as that. But let's just check, where are the conveyor ports on it? Yeah, there's not any on the bottom. There's one on the top, but for me, this looks alright. And we're out of interior plates. Well, what we can do is we can just make a bunch of them, and then we've got them for when we need them. Okay. So yeah, so we have 4 assemblers. We're gonna... I can always put like 2 speed speed modules on either side of it, just so they've got a little bit of a speed boost. Like, they don't have to be fully upgraded. That should be okay. And then in terms of connecting that up, what we can do is, all we need is just one of these conveyor corners. So that's the kind of basic infrastructure we need. I mean, we still need some, probably still need some O2H2 for getting ourselves some hydrogen. But, I mean, at this point, we might get away with just those 2 wind turbines. The other thing is because we've done these in full blocks as well, we can kind of get away with just closing that bit off. But no, I'm trapped. So that's the basic idea of what I had. What I might do now, we've got enough space up here, so could always set up a second layer and put a few other bits that we need up here as well. Because thinking, what do we need? So we need oxygen and hydrogen production and storage. Probably do with some crew quarters, and definitely could do with a control room to put all our timer blocks and programmable blocks in. We're probably going to completely enclose this space. Now, the reason we're doing that is, even though realistically we are underground at this point, if there's a sandstorm outside, it still impairs our oxygen. So yeah, so even though we're underground, unfortunately, even though we're underground, if there's a sandstorm, it starts to damage us because we don't have enough oxygen. So best way to sort that is probably close this whole base in and put some air vents in. And then what we can do is mostly keep the door shut. And if we ever need to go outside, we can just vent the oxygen and then open it up. So let's put in this floor. Actually, why am I putting that there? So with the areas that we've got, this part will probably do quite well for the control room. Or even if we set this up as the personal quarters, and then what we could do is we can have gas production and storage. Yeah, and then control room up here. I'm trying to think, have I missed one? No, I think we're all good. Now, how am I gonna pipe these up? Let's go down here a minute. That'll work. Right, I've put a straight in there. I don't need a straight. Let's also just take all these out for now, and I can replace them. What I'll do is, I think here, probably put some T-junctions and some corners in. And do the same over here. So then what we could do actually, wait. That won't work. Yeah, because if I have them lining the back, then that just means that we're going to be yeah, we're gonna have to extend it out 4 blocks out, which will mean it'll be sticking out at the end here. So let's just use these full ones. So if I remember correctly, yeah, if we go into the oxygen tanks, yeah. So with field work, they added a few more tanks. Now, if we've got 3 spaces on, well, let's call it 4 spaces on this side. What we'll do, let's take that out. And then we can run these along the floor to connect to the oxygen tanks. Where are they? So we go there, 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 there. And that's our oxygen sorted. Hydrogen, again, probably same deal here. But thankfully with these ones, they've got a connector on the side there. So we can just connect them straight up like that. And then finally, we can put in some O2H2 generators. And same with the hydrogen, they've got
Energy flow.
Thank you, Karen, for interrupting me. Yeah, they've got a connector on either side, and then on the bottom there. So yeah, so that should work for our gas production and storage. And then here we can have a control room. Yes, thank you, critical. I know. That was the perfect amount of hydrogen. So what we can also do is, just for, well, personally I think this is a bit more of a style choice on my part, but what we'll do is I'll take out those parts of the wall and then we can replace them with batteries. Hopefully, I don't know actually if these are airtight or not, but if they're not, we can replace them with the kind of normal batteries. Might not look as good, but at least it'll be airtight. So let's just quickly check. If we pull out our multi-tool, we've got a conveyor network visualizer. So yeah, so you can see everything's kind of all connected now. Last thing I think we'll do for now is let's think about putting in those air vents. Yeah, because it's a big area, we'll probably do with putting a few vents in just to help speed up like the filling and depressurizing. Yeah, that'll look alright. And because they're the full ones, we'll perfectly fine for us to just kind of drive over them. Hopefully. Either that or this has been a massive oversight on my part and I will pay for it dearly later. But this does kind of feel like it's becoming a reoccurring theme for this episode, but that is future Ben problem. Alright. Again, double check just to see. Yep. They're all connected up nicely. I mean, honestly, at this point then, we might be in a good place to start welding everything up. Actually, one thing I think I'll do before we do that is I'm going to try to use one of the new blocks that we have. because if we're down here, don't really want to be coming in and out and in and out to keep grabbing resources. What I can do is we can put in a cargo terminal here, and then yeah, we leave it there, connect up to that, and then we can pull the resources from there rather than having to fly out or even climb up the ladder out, go to the components one, get it out of there, and then bring it all the way back. But I mean, for now, that seems pretty good. At least in my opinion, that looks alright. I mean, if we grab the speed modules and put those on now, because it's only the yeah, so it's just the yield modules that need superconductors. So we could probably get away with doing these now. That does feel like everything I kind of need for now. So what I think I might do is, I think we'll cut the episode here, and what I can do is in between episodes, turn these on now, and we'll let it build up as much as it can, so that in the next episode we can fill in the rest of it, and we don't have to worry about all of this welding up while we try to plan everything else out. If there's anything I've missed that you think should be on the base, let me know down in the comments. If you've enjoyed the episode, do consider leaving a like, and if you want to see more, a subscription is always appreciated. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode. I mean, there's always my personal favourite element, which is AH. Now, a few of you might be asking me, Ben, there isn't an AH. But you'd be wrong, because it's the, as the man would say, it's the element of surprise!